Right, man.
Yep.
Oh, you're just like, fuck, no, I don't want no dap. I want a dap. Hell yeah. There we go.
An extra.
Little extra.
My sexual cologne. It's literally called sexual.
Nice. I thought you were about to spray it like right here at me. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was about to be like, wait a minute. Peace. Oh yeah. I like he was gonna take a toke before he left and never did that at all. But hey, money for me. If I do say so myself. Alrighty. Get my thing a going and chilling while we're killing time. All that fun shit. Little jazzy chunk. Little sweet, little butt chunk. Oh, dogs are sad now. They're just like, Papa gone. No. Put this pin on. Go. Q. Alright. Now while homeboy's off doing his little date tonight, now I'm just kind of wondering just when they will come back. Probably not for a while, but I'm just like, You know, I am kind of thinking about doing some gold for tonight. Thinking about doing like X amount of money per shot kind of thing, but I'm just like, I'm gonna wait a bit. I'll wait a little bit and see what happens for this little stream before doing that. Rock on, brother, all alone. Hey, what's up, man? What to do? People. Goofy boy. That one kind of got me a bit. One bond, one love. Hell yeah. Being fucking miserable. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hopefully, at least the rest of the night gets better. I know for me, it's just chilling out at this point. Hanging out here, throwing some news, random things, and all that shit. So, there's a few things I actually haven't talked about too much, from the other where I'm just like, I want to kind of get into a little bit. There was one thing I want to get into, then, like, literally within less than 24 hours, it ended up not even being, like, valid. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So, I'm like, damn. And that's about the ceasefire. It's not like at least a part of the theme of the stream of broken treaties. Or treaties busting. Because, I mean, shocker, they were. I mean, anyone who's been living under a rock might be shocked, but anyone who hasn't would just be like, well, wow. Who would have seen that coming? But we can get into that a little bit later. I will say, I mean, anyone that thought that Israel was going to, like, uphold to that fucking ceasefire is just straight up a dunce. Like, they have never done that once in their nation's history, ever. So what the fuck makes you think they would do it now? I mean, it's like, they never abide by that shit. So it's just fucking silly to think they would. mean, you can never, like, trust a sociopathic butcher, which is, like, what they all are at this point. So it's like, I mean, you just can't trust that. The only way you could is if it was behind bars, or at least, you know, submitting down into nothing but a pulp. That's the only way that you're going to be able to trust it at that point. And even then, probably not. They'll find some way to get out of that. So it's like, nope. Shit like that just don't need to be a thing. I'll tell you what. Luckily, that's become a lot more of a... But at least it's becoming a lot more of a common position that's actually normalized these days now. Which, thank fuck. You know. What the fuck was that about? Damn, bro. Knock it off. Don't be. Vito. Vito. Nothing crazy. Crazy boy. Oops. Oops. There we go. Oh, fuck. Well, sleep well on that. I need and get new chargers. Seriously, like, gotta be a priority at this point. Just stay still. There we go. Jeez. What's up, brother? What's up? And what type of name is that? Be a useless nobody can use you. Be a useless, no one can use you. Or, like, is it be a useless nobody can use you, or be a useless nobody can use? Like, what? That name is wild, bro. I am trying to figure that one out. Nice. Well, since, you know, we're still kind of doing a little more, I figure I at least, you know, throw this out. On a channel called Low Energy Videos, I'm going to be a guest going into a topic on Saturday on around 2 p.m. PST, and it's likely going to be about, like, the general history of, like, modern Iran and what led to where we're at now in kind of conjuncture. Like, basically kind of like a layman's, you know, rundown of that shit kind of thing. So I already have, like, a pretty decent understanding about it. At least that's, like, a quick, you know, like, overview. But I want to even myself kind of delve deeper into it and, like, learn the names, you know, the specific actors involved, the, you know, so on and so forth. And even have, like, pictures, things like that. You know, I kind of want to, you know, get some shit, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking that'll be a pretty cool, fun show. But like I said, it's on Low Energy Videos channel. It's going to be Saturday at 2 p.m. on Pacific time. So I'm thinking, you know, it'll be a little fun one. I think it's the debut of his new show he's doing. I think. Because he was talking to me about that and wanted me to be one of the guests on it, at least to start off with. And I'm like, totally. I think I know, you know, it's because I generally have a lot of knowledge about different things, you know, when it comes to certain shit. And a pretty politically aware person, you know, and historically aware person. So, I mean, you know, it's just about drawing out what I want to, you know, think about in the hat. There was a few ideas I was kind of thinking about, you know, for the, you know, whoa, lost of balance. Like thinking about for, like, you know, different topics besides, you know, the history of modern Iran, but overall, I mean, I think considering what's going on these days and what's happening currently in contemporary news and shit, I think that's a really good, topic to work with. Plus, I think it will generally help with his viewership too a little bit. And because I had others in mind, but I feel like the next time I'm invited on for something like that, I can do one of those, like the history of the U.S. labor movement, or like the labor movement in Western Europe and like how it started, from this beginning, and like its early origins before like unions were kind of seen as what they are today, and stuff like that. But I was like, that would be fun and cool, but like it's and pretty and contemporary too, because I could bring that history up as well. But it's like, concerning a more highlighted topic, I feel like something like that would be a very good topic to delve into when it comes to Iran, at least. Where are you from? I am from Oregon. On the contrary of the hat saying Chicago, even though I know it's backwards, I'm from Portland, so I'm not a Chicago original. But I do love Chicago. I've been there once, and I'd love to go there again at some point. But I'm from the Pacific Northwest. Let's go, Hang Music Guy. That is true. I am. I mean, don't have any of it playing right now, but I know it's on my playlist somewhere. I know at some point it'll be in the background. Chicago's cool ass aquarium. I've walked by it actually. Like me and my friends, when we were walking around Chicago, we happened to like walk kind of through that little area, and I mean, I never been in there though, and and all that shit. But one of the things I would personally like to do, at least for myself, if none of my friends want to, is to go visit it. And honestly, there's like a few other places in Chicago I want to visit, but it's just like, I already visited a lot of the main spots I've really wanted to check out with Chicago, so now it's just more of a like, just like, what's some other cool stuff I'm just not aware of? There's only like one or two that I want to check out, but we just never did, and the aquarium, at least for me, is one of them. I checked out the Haymarket Fair memorial and statue, which is one of my personal pilgrimages I wanted to do because, I'm a big major labor leftist and a trade unionist. So knowing about the Haymarket Affair and, what happened, and it's also the origins of May Day, of, International Workers' Day as well. It's one of those things where, for me, I'm, generally like, you have like kind of an attachment towards, so I've always wanted to visit it. And literally the morning that we got into Chicago, because we had a overnight flight, so when we actually got there to Chicago, and that morning before we checked in, we happened to walk by it. We happened to be near it because we were looking on the map to eventually go to our hotel to check in, and it was literally kind of slightly out of the way from the route, but it was like right there. And I was like, yo, guys, let's just take this little detour route. It's like right there. Let's check it out and actually hang out at this place, for a little bit, because I honestly wanted to do a video, which I never did, but I still have all the footage and everything, so I could still upload it, but I'm just totally fucking spaced on doing it. But like, cause I wanted to at least like make an informative video about like getting into the Haymarket as like a short, like a 2.5 minute, maybe 2 minute YouTube short or something like that, with like the pictures and the videos that I took there, on top of maybe showing like some older stuff from the Haymarket itself and shit like that. So I can still do the video. I mean, it's just one of those things where I'm like, well, fuck. I just totally spaced on doing it and procrastinated way too hard. Went to the aquarium and the art museum. Buddy ate gum off the bottom of a hot dog cart. Good times. Oh my god, dude! What did your buddy just do it for the fuck of it, or was he like betted on doing it? I bet you won't do it. All right, I will. Give me $50 and I'll do it. All right, here it is. Grabs it and just does it. Like, dude, that's diabolical, bro. Some diabolical shit right there, man. Why, man? Why? I mean, fuck. And it's so odd. Why do you think, women live longer than men? You know what I mean? We do the most dumbest shit. And look, you know what? There's some chicks out there that do some dumb shit too. But look, I mean, if we're going to talk about like the quantity, the quality, I guess really lack thereof, and like the hey, hold my beer as the last words a man says, especially rednecks. I mean, it's like it just don't compare. It don't compare, because I know they'd be crazy bitches out there, but crazy motherfuckers out there just shadows that like an eclipse. I mean, because it's like, god damn, like we just do some wild shit. Had to prove he was punk or something? Nah, dude, that's not being punk, and you're just being gross. Dude, I'm a punk, and I would never do that. That's just revolting. Like, why? And I'm like a dirty kid crust punk, too. I mean, not like literally, but I mean, if you know what a dirty kid / a crust punk is, they're basically just like poor kids that might be a little dusty or dirty or whatever. Like rough around the edges, so to speak. It doesn't necessarily have to literally mean hygienically, but, either way, the point being, it's just like, even I'm one of those type of punks, and even I would never fucking do that. I even look at, crust punks that legit just have an aroma that is just bad on them. You know what I mean? Where you could just like, whoa, like, oh, what the fuck? And you just like look, and you just know who it is, and you're like, oh, why? I get it. We're at a punk show. It's sweaty and all this other shit, but like, yo, like, do you have to like just not shower for a week before you go to the show? Like, like I will at least like shower the day before a show. So yeah, I'm gonna be gross as fuck, and I'm gonna shower later the next night. But at least I'm not like a fucking crusty, disgusting bastard. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. And look, I get it. Like, sometimes, especially if you have like a punk jacket, so to speak, or you wear a jacket to very specific things, it's going to catch like aromas and auras and scents and shit over time. And it's going to have that shit stuck with it, right? Especially if you got like a battle jacket or like a battle vest that you bring to shows. I mean, even if yourself are clean, that will still have a little bit of a stench. Now, depending on the style, battle jacket / punk vest, battle vest, whatever the fuck, like, you can probably clean it fairly easily, and some of them you just can't. But there's ways to do it. There's ways where you can fix it up and it's not so fucked. And even then, if anything, it would have more of a weird, like, earthy aroma that at least isn't terrible. I met plenty of people that have had battle jackets or battle vests that are like, yeah, I've had this for like 10 years. And I can tell there's an aroma with it, but at least it's not terrible because they at least take care of it. You know what I mean? Like, they're not trying to fucking, like, make it so raunchy where everyone's like, whoa, fuck. He's more of a thrash punk, so I didn't even know why he had to prove himself. Thrash punks are not known for being dirty kids either. Like, so that doesn't even make sense. Or like dirty crust punks or nothing, like that. He did not need to do that. And even then, unless you're like Gigi Allen, like, or some shit, you don't need to do that, bro. That's just gross. That's like some shit like some fraternity jock bro would do to like an initiate to be like, prove yourself. Are you a fucking alpha, bro? That's what I really truly imagine, like some shit like that, honestly, when it comes to something like that. Or you're just that desperate for gum and you're just like, fuck it or something. I don't know, dude. I mean, like, I can't really truly think of a valid logical reason to do that. Unless you're getting like $1,000 and you are grabbing it and it's in your pocket and then you do it, like, unless there's some shit like that where, yeah, I got $1,000 on that bitch, no. And even then, I'm kind of being I'm cheaping up on myself. Like, I would rather like double that up or at least make it 10K or some shit, like, who knows what the fuck is on that shit and who knows how long it's been there. Who knows what is like building up and festering in that shit. Ugh. Like, why? Unless he knew for a fact, like, someone just put it there, like, 30 minutes ago or some shit. So he was like, all right, it'll be fine. Or whatever the fuck. I don't know, bro. I don't know, dude. Oh, by the way, what's up, Pinky? Yeah, I actually put that in the pin comments actually for the for the Cash App because I do actually have a goal in mind. I was thinking, for you know $3 each. It doesn't have to be from one person, by the way. But like if we raise up like three each, I'll do a shot. I got whiskey over here. I already sipped it a little bit, like right at the beginning, because my buddy was dipping out for his date. So I'm like, hey, you know what? To make a little money back for him, I could do that because it's like what $10 for that whole fucking bottle. Like it's cheap as shit. So, well, think about it though. A lot of bars, a Wells whiskey shot is usually about like $2.50, $3, sometimes give or take. Depends on the place. Unless you're at like a legit watering hole, then it's like legit like $2 or something. Like, I mean, that's a pretty fair like raising for a goal there. You know what I mean? I just need to get fucking notifications on my Cash App set up. So I thinking every so often I might just have to like check on that. That's how I felt. It's like he did increasingly fucked up shit just to be a complete degenerate. That is like just straight up like some Gigi Allen shit. Was he just honestly trying to be Gigi Allen? Because unironically, like he is probably the most legit peak crust dirty punk fucker to ever exist. Like, and not even in really a good way either, but nonetheless he was, because he did push so many fucking boundaries of what was punk that it's like you kind of have to respect that, you know what I mean? It's just like, I mean, like, because he did not give a fuck. Like, I mean, and there is a certain level where you have to respect that. So much to the point, he would just get his ass beaten at shows by finding the biggest motherfucker to fuck with in a mosh pit or some shit. And legit just for the virtue of getting his ass beat. Because he liked it. Literally would shit on stage, be naked and stuff on stage, and fucking throw shit at people in the crowd just so he can get people to beat his ass and stuff. Like, he was a complete fucking masochistic sadist, like, type of dude, and overtly a dirty, crusty fucking punk, like outright in the most extreme level possible. I mean, the last video of him you can find on YouTube, I think even just shows that too. He's literally in like a fucking like man shorts and shit, like a mankini kind of thing. He's wearing a leather jacket that you could just tell probably has got like straight up shit on it, not even dirt. Like, and you could just tell this man must have smelled like an unironic fucking landfill. I'm not even joking. And you have all these other dirty punks who actually are like crust punks and dirty kids in a very extreme way, but not like him. Like, I mean, they just follow him around because they're either fans or his groupies or whatever the fuck. He always had like a few of them around. Guy lived what he believed. I mean, and the crazy thing is, he, like, didn't really believe in that much outside of the virtue of, like, fuck humanity, like, I hate all people, I can't be racist because I fucking hate just people, kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, ultimately, it really comes from the fact that he had a really traumatic and fucked up life. And he just literally continued and pursued it. I mean, in a way, I actually kind of feel bad, about who he, was just on that virtue, because, like, man, he grew up being really fucked up in the head. I mean, through the abuse, like, even the idea that, like, I think he was literally born with the name Jesus Christ, so basically the idea that, like, oh yeah, like, feeling this weird, hyper, like, religious, spiritual, like, I'm basically a son of God kind of idea. Like, I mean, he had a very traumatic life that was very fucking psychological, that really fucked with him. I don't know if that's a myth or something. I mean, it's something that he's talked about and pretty consistently, so I don't know if that's just a part of his mythos or if it is true. But, I mean, knowing how he is, or at least how he was, I mean, I don't know, man. Who's to truly say, but I'm willing to take his word for it, considering that, like, of who he is. Like, it seems pretty consistent, and it's something he's talked about fairly frequently in different interviews, and especially with other people have said, from being around him. Even his brother, I think, too, because his brother is still alive as well. And is, I think, in a band and is like a music producer and shit. Like, he lives a relatively, stable life as well, but he's, someone that, is also very a quirky, crazy motherfucker, too, in his own way. But at least it's a lot more, sane, I suppose. And he has a lot of insight about, Gigi, and I think he's even said, some of these things as well. So it's just like, whether it's the mythos of it all, or whether there is genuine truth to it, or maybe it's both. I mean, who's to really say, I suppose, but I think there's a little bit of both, I would suppose. Yeah, he's the bassist for the Murder Junkies, or at least was, for a time. I know he's like still a bassist, but I don't know if he's like a session player and he just like tours around with people or not. I know he's like, a musician and is still somewhat active in that shit, and I think does music production as well and helps with that too. Like, he's fairly known in the music industry, at least when it comes to metal and punk and stuff like that, so. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's still active. I mean, from what I know, I just don't know exactly what he does now these days. If I remember, I think he's just like a session player. He'll like join in on, different bands if they need a bassist and just hang out with them, stuff like that. Dude, his beard is fucking badass, bro. I'm so happy he has that fucking epic beard, dude. I mean, because, dude, that is like some metal-ass fucking beard shit, bro. You gotta obey the beards every so often. Like, it's like that song by Psycho Stick. Obey the beard! Can we have Courtney Love be made forbidden to play on the PNW? Like, even on the radio? Or just have her name verboten, too. And also make it so she can never actually be in the PNW ever again. You're not allowed out here. You're not allowed in Oregon. You're not allowed in Washington. You can go to Idaho. I know they're technically into PNW, but I don't really count them. So, you can go over there. Respect the neck and respect the beard. Damn right. She's banned. Good. And she better be. Fuck that bitch. I know that there's, like, like, this idea that she really didn't do it to Kurt and stuff, but I don't know, man. You know what? Whether, that really is truly the case and, she didn't have anything to do with it at all, there's just too much suspicious bullshit, and the fact that the Seattle Police Department and their investigative team literally did not give an iota of a fuck to truly investigate it properly, and just didn't give a shit. They just saw him as just some typical junkie that was out there. It's like, nah, I mean, that's some bullshit. Didn't Kurt's death get ruled as a homicide recently? I don't know. If that was some news, that's new to me. And if that's the case, then I think that kind of validates, the idea that Courtney might have had something to do with it. And maybe the Seattle PD should probably reopen the case and actually investigate it, because they never did back then. They did a cursory thing, and then they're like, oh yeah, he killed himself. Even though there's a lot of peculiar little interesting things with the whole situation where it's like, this doesn't quite add up. Even with the shotgun that he had and how he did it, on top of where the shell casing was with how it happened and everything, they've done like multiple different trial ideas of how it would be done with that shotgun and where that shell casing would go. It don't make sense. Literally, the only way it would if somebody was pointing it at him from above, kind of thing. Someone was there to help him, basically. Quote unquote. It's like, I mean, that's the only thing that would make sense, considering where the shell casing end up landing and being, considering how, if he was going to off himself, it wouldn't land there. Maybe it was like that 1 in a million, particularity of the physics of it all, but I mean, chances are it probably wasn't when they've done different trials and simulations to see if it would. It don't. And plus, the suicide note wasn't in the room that he was dead in. When you usually find notes like that, they're usually in the room that, you know, people are in, or like right next to it, or right outside the room. They're not in some random ass other room in the other part of the house that's like some little old storage room with like his old bedroom or something. Like that, what he didn't care to go in there. He never did. And also his also the handwriting is different at a certain point on that note where it looks like it was finished by somebody else. So that's another interesting part about it where it don't make sense necessarily. I mean, it's like maybe there's some convenient things about it, and that's just what it is, you know. But I don't know. It don't really completely make sense, including some other people that are familiar about Courtney and were involved in a sense of like in that relationship and know of Kurt and that and everything. Where there's been one or two people at least that have mysteriously have died. Like false flag or something. That makes even less sense than the Kirk incident. Who's going to investigate SPD? Nobody, unfortunately. The Kirk incident really feels like an inside job, man. Like, well, I don't know. I mean, I know there was a recent, you know, thing on the news about how like the bullet doesn't necessarily match the rifle that was found, but like my thing is like I have a general basic idea about bullet physics a little bit and ballistic physics, and there are times where a bullet being shot from a rifle will not always necessarily look like, you know, that bullet, you know, after shot, obviously, especially when it hits a different target. You know, whether it's soft or hard target, you know, ballistics, you know, will vary depending on, you know, those circumstances on how that bullet reacts to that. And also depends on the bullet in itself. Ballpoint, FMJ, you know, there's all sorts of different factors that can lead on what that bullet, you know, is and what it does, depending on what that target is as well. A lot of different things are involved with it, right? So it's like, I mean, there's no REO spray from the neck wound. Yeah, there definitely was. Like, dude, did you see the video? Because I definitely seen it a few different times. And dude, when he got shot, it was definitely through that fucking neck, you know, through the artery. It literally just gushed right the like it was a boom, gush, and he just slumped immediately after. It just glugged out. Yeah, because that's what happens when that blood pressure immediately gets rapidly changed now that it's exposed like that with a vein. Like that's you know, part of the medical science about, you know, blood pressure. It's like when you cut a vein like that, it doesn't immediately just go pss, pss, you know, usually. You know, like it will with a mass pressure and especially with an explosion from a fucking bullet, it's going to be so rapid and it's such a massive thing where it literally with the blood pressure change that yeah, you're gonna whatever blood's in your brain going down that, you know, part of the wound, it's just gonna just fall out, and then everything going up is just gonna glug the fuck out because it doesn't have the pressure to launch out. It's not like Hollywood where you get shot in the neck and suddenly just sprays everywhere. I've also seen plenty of different fucking videos, you know, from like back when Live Leak was, you know, a pretty big prominent thing, and from our combat footage where people have been shot in the neck, and it's somewhat the same thing too. I mean, it's not one of those things where it doesn't necessarily happen like in Hollywood where shit just starts spraying out like a fucking hose. Also, Akid, I'm pretty sure you know about the stabbing in Hollywood, the Hollywood backstation way back in the day, years and years ago. There was someone in this video of this where he did stab someone in the fucking neck. Two people, one of them died and the other one survived, surprisingly. And the one who died, it was kind of the same thing because it, you know, happened to like cut enough of his jugular to the point where, you know, there was that blood pressure loss, and you know, obviously there's going to only be a certain amount of time for him to live at that point. You can't really fucking stop the cut like that. And yeah, but it was somewhat the same thing. It wasn't like going everywhere. It was just like whoop, whoop, whoop. You know, while he's just sitting here fucking, you know, with other people around him and shit. But that's I mean, but for the few little moments you were like looking at him, like, oh fuck, you know. Uncle Bob. Totally. Got some A style going on. That's good. Cool. Thanks. I don't know. The whole situation feels sketchy to me. I know it sounds fucked, but it seems like it happened at the perfect time to reinforce viewpoints. I mean, yeah, look, I mean, I got questions about it as well myself, just on the virtue that, like, in a weird way, if you think about it, like, Charlie Kirk was kind of one of the few dudes holding down the right, you know, a little bit. Because he was like a weird... Oh, shit. Oops, my bad. My shit was balanced, and it did not balance itself properly. Hold on, give me 1 second here. But like I was saying, I feel like he was kind of like a balance of, you know, to the right, where it's like he had like some weird anti-Israeli to the point of anti-Semitic shit, but he also was kind of like a moderate a little bit. He was always like, yeah, free speech, we should get together and I will talk to people and this and that, blah 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 blah. I'm just trying to, you know, talk about this and that. Like he was able to kind of play both sides of the right pretty perfectly, to where, you know, he was able to talk extreme crazy fucking shit while also seeming like I'm just this moderate, really nice, decent little guy. I don't know. Look at that guy that shoots the kid in Breaking Bad. No, I definitely do not. I know who you're talking about. Like, I don't know the actor's name, but what the fuck? Like, that's how you were reminded of Jesus, man. What the fuck? You know that guy's acted in other movies, right? In other shows, dude. Like, what the hell? That's what you have to remember him from? What the fuck? And also, I don't think he usually wears hats. And also, he's like freakishly, psychopathically, you know, insane. Like monster drinks. Back when I was in high school, well over a decade ago, but no, not anymore. I'm a real man, I have coffee. Sent me a meme? Well, I can't quite look at that right now. Maybe I will in a minute, but I will at least if we hit a goal. $3 per shot. You know, there is some whiskey over here, but for $3 a pop, you know, it doesn't have to be for one person, but, you know, if we raise up, you know, towards $3 a pop, then we'll do a shot. Full throttle back and full throttle back is only a drink worth it. I've never had a full throttle at all. I've had rock stars. I've had monsters, coffee, obviously. I've had miso because one of my friends used to drink that shit all the time. I don't know about it anymore, but that shit was disgusting. It's like a sour energy drink, and it was repulsive. I've had Bang, which made me feel really weird, and I did not like it. It tasted good, I guess, but I've had Red Bulls. I've had a C4 once, and it was meh. What else have I had? I feel like I've had one other before. I think it was just so long ago I can't even really remember, to be honest. So I have a like different type, you know, 7 different type of energy drinks. Hi, punk. Call me a punk. Well, you'll be correct. I am a punk. I swear to God, if people unironically believe that this is Donald Trump, I'm gonna be so sad. Because Donald Trump has totally, out of all the weird dementia-addled fuck shit that he's doing, he's definitely wasting his time scrolling for YouTube shorts right now. Totally. And if he was, oh man, I would have some words for that motherfucker. Honestly, no one spends time. You could actually be a Captain Sickin' and Bum himself. He would, lol. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm the president, folks. You know, if that's the case, then you know what? What is like one major secret that the people ought to know that you can't say, but you know what? You should. Because the people ought to know. How about that, motherfucker? Do one goddamn good thing for the American people for once, you worthless son of a bitch. Are there aliens on the dark side of the moon? You know, something like that. Like, give us something. I want to be like the guy who's breaking the news, bro. Get ready for war. Get ready for it. We're already been in it. Yeah, this is how you know it's not Trump. We've been in one, you fuck. You're the one who started it, you son of a bitch, and we've been in one. And now you're just like, oh yeah, just get ready for more. Get ready for more, folks. Implying that it hasn't started yet or some shit. Like, give me a break. He ain't the president. Trump your daddy. No, he's not. And that's also very gay of you, you know, to be like thinking that a president is a daddy. Like, that is very gay, bro. Just let you know. And look, I'm bisexual as fuck. I love dick and stuff, you know. I'll suck one, you know. But, like, yo. I mean, game recognized game, and that was some gay shit, okay?
How to feel with people don't pipe take the germ.
Yeah, because I'm going to be go fucking picking grapes in California anytime soon. Or picking fucking goddamn wheat out in Kansas. Yeah, because that's totally, you know, a job I'm inspiring to go do right now. Give me a fucking break. Yeah, like, you're going to do that too, huh? Yeah, you want to go out there and fucking, you know, work the fields for like 10 hours a day or more? Yeah, you don't? Well, yeah, then shut up. Remember that one time when the whole world found out Trump blowjob the beautiful, big, beautiful Bill? That is Clinton. And a horse, too. I don't even give a fuck. Bubba was Bill Clinton and Ghislaine Maxwell's horse. He blew Bill and the horse. So, you know what? That's canon to me. I don't care. Trump sucked horse's cock. Let's make you feel MAGA. Oh, wow. I love how you don't have anything else, so you just have to revert to just, like, the basic obvious, like, right in the front, you know, of what I am casually doing for fun. Because, yeah, like, you know, me at 12:30 in the fucking morning, yeah, I should be working the mines or something right now. Like, give me a break. It's 12:30 in the fucking morning. Like, what the fuck you think I'm gonna be doing, you dipshit? Shocker. There's a thing called time zones. Maybe you should learn what those are. Little Barrett's literally no, I don't. You dumb fuck. I wouldn't be projecting so much with over there, buddy. You know what's crazy? You white paper wood America KKK. Isn't that kind of an oxymoron? Because the KKK are like white supremacists, so like. Yeah. What? Unless it's saying that, like, white people like me are somehow destroying the great white nation or some shit because you're a fucking weird, psychotic, racist fucking dipshit.
I'm superior in my ways because I, you know, like a Bud Light or something and just drop bears and just talk shit on the internet and play time. God bless time. God bless boy around, bless time. Even though it's taking money out of my taxpayers, you know, for Israel, bless time.
Oh my god. Pathetic. Do you spit or swallow? What are we talking? America was better before us honkies rolled up on boats. True.
You thought racist loves BBC.
I mean, I never had BBC, but, you know, I ain't against it. Who knows? I'd probably just be like, if there was one right there, ready to go, I'd be like, all right, fuck it. Do y'all really think that that's supposed to be an insult or something?
Jay's boy.
Wow. Fucking got him. Holy shit. Well, I should just get off the internet now. Wow. Wow. Fucking got him. Got roasted so hard, bro. Jesus. Whatever. What? Wow. I guess I can't show my face anymore. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Wow. That was diabolical, bro. That was just wild, bro. Wow, bro. Out of everything that had to be thrown down, goddamn, dude. I can't recover from that. However, am I going to recover from that? Jizz boy, bro. Fuck, dude. That was some, like, just fatality shit, man. Fatality shit, bro. Especially on Fully Gay Sunday. Oh, definitely. 100%. And I like how the idea I'm just yeah, guys, yeah, is literally having a fucking beer. And then doing a goal for like a communal like $3 a shot fucking thing with whiskey, which, you know, like that's more of just a fun fucking thing on the side. Oh yeah, totally fucked up over here. If anything, I'm more high than drunk. Like, if you're gonna get at me for being a stoner, bro, you dipshits. Like, goddamn. I'll even do you one better. Get at me for being a furry. I'm a little fur fact degenerate over here. Like, I mean, you know, there's plenty of material that can be used. Y'all just don't got the fucking art of the troll, man. None of you do. Like, it's sad. Like, just no one has graduated as a master's or a bachelor at the art and University of Trolling. The Trolling of the Arts University. Like, come on. Dr. Ligma himself fucking founded that, you know, fucking school, and none of you appreciate his fucking form. It's pathetic.
Should you really be drinking and smoking when on the spectrum?
Is that your fucking business? Peaceful said founded. Yeah, there's foundations. And then, you know, like, yeah, like when it comes to the whole fucking, you know, school and built it up himself. Yeah. It's not just finding it and, you know, founded the school itself. It's like you literally built it up. Yeah. Yeah. Got a problem with that? The master has to, you know, show from the very fucking humble beginnings, including the building and the foundations and everything that are started with that school. Stays mind and spirit. It does.
Play it forward.
Bruh, you're a rando on a stream where it's like you're just a rando on a stream on my chat. Think I give a fuck what your opinion is?
Go kill Lester by yourself.
Say what like you did earlier? and what you've been doing probably for quite a while, just skibbity scrolling for fucking brain rot until you found something to fuck on. Yeah, why aren't you wearing a shirt? Are you trying to be like some weird alpha? And also, why are you so far away in that fucking photo? Like, if you're trying to show off, shouldn't you, like, have a better pic, bro? Like, goddamn, dude.
You're buying food end up on my phone.
And you're the brainless fool that decided to stick around, dipshit. I mean, I could show you the door, or one of my mods can. I mean, like, you don't have to stick around. You could skippity on, scroll away. No, it's like no one cares, but yet you apparently do. You apparently, like it enough to want to stick around. Oh. Rose was just like, I don't give a fuck. Rose was like sniped from the rooftops, like. Damn. Jesus Christ. That was fucking awesome. Nice job, Rose. Like, that was funny. I was gonna maybe like time him out for like 30 minutes or something, but that works too. It's gone. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Captain, we are now entering Warp 6. Oh my.
Why are you on my feet even though nothing's keeping me here?
Dipshit. Circa 2026. No, for real, dude. I mean, seriously, like,
well, you're the one who fucking showed up on my feed.
It's like, well, you can literally just be like, hey, let me watch this, don't like this, and move on. Because guess what? I will do that with, like, YouTube short lives. Sometimes I'll get bored of something I'm watching. I want to see what else is out there. So I'll scroll down a little bit and see what's up. And I'll see some shit that I'm just like, I don't care. Alright, what's this? Whatever. Alright, I'm a little interested in this. This seems a little interesting. Oh, you're a weirdo. Okay, never mind. Sometimes it happens, but who gives a fuck? Every so often I will, troll occasionally, because, I gotta get back into my roots with that, but, like, for the most part, I don't give a fuck. We gotta farm watch hours from the trolls. Well, that too, of course.
We all should give a fuck.
No. I mean, I don't think anyone should, including myself. I do these for fun. I mean, hey, I like to do if there's a possibility of a little tip in the jar and stuff like that, and shit, you know what I mean? But, like, hey, whatever. I just do them because they're fun and enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least that's how I, perceive it. And I also especially think, when it comes to people in, like, the chat setting, I mean, I guess in the sense that they do because they care about the content creator and there's, like, a community kind of building around that. That I respect them. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. But, just on the virtue of just popping in or something, like, it's, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't that big of a deal. Came in too late. No, you're fine. You're okay. I mean, you came in when there was some trolling going on, and, being a master's at the art of at the arts of trolling university, I mean, it's just like, it's one of those things where I had to bring it up, and yet, it just people couldn't get it. Thought you meant in life not exclusively in reference to YouTube lives. Well, yeah. I mean, but that's what I mean, like, actually. Like, your life actually is far more fucking important and shit. Like, if you can make some fun and do stuff like that via the platform of YouTube or any other social media, then sure, go for it, Whether you're making content or participating in it, I do that all the time, too. But, you know, like at the end of the day, that shouldn't be like the main emphasis of life, right? You gotta touch grass, you gotta go out there and do shit, you gotta hustle, you gotta work, you know, all these things, right? You know, so it's like at the end of the day, like if you can actually make something of it, then you know, pursue it. I mean, but don't expect it to necessarily go anywhere. Because that's how I got kind of treat it. Like I'm almost, you know, there for monetization. I'm about like I think the last time I checked, like 70 subs away. Well, I guess maybe 69. Giggity. You know, since you just said that, you know, with subbing, you know, and legit every so often, you know, because I have my little tip jar in the pinned comments, you know, and I bring that up every so often, like, you know, hey, that does, you know, come up, and it's certainly a very encouraging thing. So it's like, hey, you know, if there's the encouragement, then pursue it further, but, you know, don't let it always, you know, take over completely. I mean, unless it's at least, you know, unless it pays the rent kind of thing, you know, because if so, at that point, then hey, you know, fucking do it. But I just treat it as a hobby, and if anything, at best, I just like to have it as like a little side income. I got my main thing, and then I got a little side, you know, cheddar thing. And especially in this fucking economy, it's more money the better, right? It's just unfortunate that the economy is fucked, just period. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to try to be like, yo, hey, here's my tip jar, blah, blah, blah. When I'm knowing, I'm like, man, if I'm struggling, everyone else is, including people that are just trying to live the day life, I'm like, motherfucker, man. I'm like, you know, it's like, shit. I mean, because, I mean, if you think about this, because of the Strait of Hormuz and this whole thing of the Israeli-Iran war, because that's really what it is, like, and what's going on, like, the actual backlog that is going on in the Strait of Hormuz is not what we're feeling yet. The last shipments of, you know, oil and what little is getting through is basically the last little droplets that we're going to be seeing before it really gets bad. That's what's going on right now. So it's just like, you know, one of those things where we're only seeing the edge of the storm, and like when it comes to this fucking typhoon, basically, like the core of it, you know, not the eye, but like the core of what that shit is what is going to truly fuck us, and we haven't seen that yet. I mean, it's already bad as it is, but just wait like a few months. Wait until like the end of summer, or even at the beginning or at the peak of summer. Like, give it a few months, and it will eventually hit. It's gonna make like the '79 oil crisis, you know, with the Iran Contra shit and all that. Like, it's gonna make that look like a fucking cakewalk. It looked like Care Bear Teddy Land. You should be going on a holiday real soon. It's a holiday in Cambodia. I don't know why, but that's what kind of came up in my mind. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, shit, dude. I mean, I can't really tell if that's a good or a bad thing. I'm assuming you're meaning like the draft or something. Last saying, yeah, you're talking the draft, aren't you? Honestly, for me, I can get out of it. I mean, I've already have actually, because during high school and after high school, at least like a couple months leading after high school, I mean, I was generally kind of thinking about joining the service for a bit. And I went to the USMC first, you know, because that was kind of my, growing up, at least especially, was one of my main interests. I don't really, at this point, know fucking why, besides like hoo-hoo, racist, and Bob patriotism or some shit. And, like, I, you know, actually, I didn't even ask, but my mom fucking asked, like, hey, you know, he's got autism and stuff. Like, what, you know, like, would that be, you know, something that would, you know, be bad or this or that or whatever? Like, what would that look like, you know, for him, you know, if he were to join? And the recruiter literally went like, And I actually even met him before too, because he was one of the high school recruiters that would come every so often. Like when the branches of the military would come in to join in, for like trying to get seniors and juniors for like the JROTC and stuff like that and shit. But he kind of looked and was like, well, I didn't know he was, but to be honest, if that is the case, especially after general boot camp, which even autistic folks can go through and stuff, it's not that hard. The USMC is a lot tougher, and that might not really be a good step for him. If anything, he would actually be disqualified, probably, because of that. So including when it comes to things like draft or enlistment and whatever, blah blah blah, and selective service, like he could actually be disqualified for these things just on that virtue alone. And I was thinking in my mind at the time, because this is around the time where I was just generally like, I don't know if I really want to do it. Because it started kind of, especially for high school, because I had a government and economics class in senior year. So I kind of started learning a lot and started getting politically active around that time. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this anymore. I mean, maybe because of the perks and stuff. Like, I was still thinking about stuff like that at least. But now I'm like, nah. Even to this day, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. No. I don't care how desperate I am. I wouldn't do it. Just on the virtue, it's just like, I mean, I'm not going to fight for fucking Israel's wars. I don't want to risk it. I don't care if it's National Guard or anything. Like, I'm not risking that shit. Because even the National Guard can get deployed out in places like in fucking Afghanistan or Iraq. There's been a few different National Guard regiments that have been deployed, out there before. So, I ain't risking it. Fuck that shit. You don't even know what FAS looks like if you think I have fetal alcohol syndrome, you retarded motherfucker. Jesus Christ. I think a mod can handle that one. I can't even look away, not saying fuck, and it'll be snapped when I come back. Pathetic, man. Ha! Wow, I was right. I literally was fucking right. I noticed he had another comment, but you know what? I don't even give a fuck enough to even read it. So basically, you're scared of death. Well, to be fair, wouldn't you to a certain degree? I don't want to die. Now, I'm not inherently afraid of death in the sense it's like, hey, when it, like for example, like let's say the worst of the worst happens in America, like the red side of America versus the blue side, are like taking up arms against each other. Like, and, for whatever fucking crazy shit happens, I happen to be like a victim or something like that. Or even, like, let's say it's like some Alex Pretty shit, even. I mean, yeah, would I wish that would never happen, and I don't want that to happen to myself? Obviously. I would not want to die, especially in that situation either. But, I mean, if I am anytime soon, quote-unquote, going to go out, I'd rather it be something like that versus some bullshit that I certainly do not believe in. Or at least certainly don't give a fuck about, or at least certainly, would just be kind of sad and pathetic, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather at least be something that I can at least, think, and being like, all right, shitty it's now, but hey, I can at least be happy with that, I guess, or at least be content with it, you know what I mean? Rather at least have something I can at least think of and be like, all right, there was something to it versus just stupid bullshit. Like let's say I choked on a chicken wing. That would be kind of embarrassing and pathetic way to die. You know what I mean? Like, I would hate for that to happen. Like that would be horrible. I mean, a little bit funny. I mean, I guess, the funeral services would probably have my friends making some jokes here and there, but like still. I mean, it's one of those, honestly, I kind of expect them to, and I want them to. But, I mean, still, it's like, it's one of those things where, Yeah, like, I don't want that to happen. I'd rather live to at least be, like, 80-something. After, like, 85 or some shit, I could be like, alright, I've lived. I can check out whenever, and I'll be fine with it. But, you know, before then, yeah, I actually generally would like to kind of, like, you know, be out there trying to do my thing and live, you know? F. So Honda SBR. Wait, what is Inky doing? Are you okay? You're also just saying F. I don't know if that means for the stream or for what is there an F on stream? Because it seems like it's fine. I'm not having any issues. I guess I'll find out in a little bit. Yeah, well, I guess Rose's saying it's fine. Inky probably had a little cutoff moment. And now he's redacting everything. I think it was just, I don't know, messing around, I guess. I don't know. Why couldn't the turtle stand up? Because he had a reptile dysfunction. You got really active for that. Like, why? There's no reason for that. You go chomp chomp. Still best get self defense ready. Oh, hey, I might be a leftist, but go far left enough, you get your guns back. I've always grown up loving guns. I already got a couple. I just need to get a sidearm. I don't have a pistol. I'll say this much. I got 2 long rifles. One of them is 12 gauge. The other 7.62 by 39. You can probably guess what they are. But I definitely want to eventually get an AR platform, and I definitely want to at least get a sidearm. And the thing is, I don't know if I want to go for style, practicality, or a little bit of both. Because I've thought about maybe getting, like, for style, a revolver. I know I'm a little weird. I don't care. And honestly, like an old school, like 45 or 357, that's like a Webley, or I don't know why I'm fucking weirdo about it, but I want like one that's either like a, you know, like top break, you know, action or something like that, you know, type of revolver. Like I want something like that, and then, you know, there's a little mixture of both style and practicality. And you cannot go wrong with a goddamn fucking 1911. It's practical. 45 is great stopping power. It's, you know, a bit of a bulky bitch, but dude, there's compact 45s out there and 1911s. Like, they exist. Like, you know, little compact versions and shit. You know, I'd get something like that. You know, a little bit of a compact. And, you know, and then, you know, if you want, you can have a Picatinny rail on the bottom. You can change the slide out so you can have one that has like a little red dot on it or something. You know, you can do things with it, you know? So, a 1911, it's got style. It's got some style. But it's also got some practicality to it. And also, you can get 1911s that are in like 9 mil, 10 mil. Like, they got different calibers, but I gotta go for classic 45. You know, you got to go to the old school. But then there's just full pure practicality. And to be honest, I'm not a fan of Glock, but it's Glock. Let's just be honest. In fact, there's so much interchangeability with Glock. You can literally get like a carbine attachment / like kit that you can put your Glock in, and now you got a carbine that is attached to it. It's not literally a SBR or carbine, but it's a Glock. It's there, but now it's a carbine and shit. It's just like, I'm like, fuck, that's some practicality where I can even mod the fuck out of it, especially depending on what caliber it is. And I've messed around with different Glocks of 9 mil, 45, 40 mil / 10 mil. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan because I'm not the fan of the grip. The grip is like really like really kind of extra, and I'm like a little like, I don't know, it just doesn't necessarily fit right completely in my hand, but that's something I can adjust to and adapt towards over time. It's not really that big of a deal, but either way, it's got adaptability and being very fucking practical, and there's massive interchangeability and mod capabilities of them to where you can basically do whatever the fuck you want with them, practically. Within legal reason, of course. Unless, it's prudent that you use something that people you're fighting with also use. That is true. And unless I want to start, trying to hunt them like they're fucking deer with buckshot, my 7.62 is not going to be practical at all. So that's why I want an AR platform as well, or at least even maybe a fucking AK platform that's in 5.56, as well. Even though in a weird way, I'm not really a big fan of them either. But I can replace and interchange the furniture depending on how I want it. I mean, it's just this is just the barrel / receiver caliber compatibility. That's the difference. So I don't know. I mean, these are the thing. I mean, because I don't know. Like, I'm a weirdo. Like, I'm not a fan of the AR platform. Not that I dislike it. I respect it for what the fuck it is. But if I had to choose, I gotta love me an AK, man. Like, the AK platform is legitimately like so simple. Like, the only place I think it legit wouldn't really work in is rough, muddy, swamp ass terrain and shit. Like, and even then, it can still perform all right. I mean, like, I don't know, it's one of those platforms where, especially for where I live, it's a great platform to have. Like, an AR wouldn't be bad, especially with how modernized they are now, and they're pretty much like equal when it comes to utility, these at this point environmentally and shit. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just would personally pick an AK just because it's easy to disassemble. If something happens, dust cover's right there, you pop it up, everything's right there. And if there's something that you need to like pick at, if you need a tool, usually if you're wearing a vest and you got like a pouch as a kit, you can just pick something out and just like get it out and then just dust cover it back in, make sure the cycle works. Might lose a bullet, pick it up, as long as it's not dirty and whatever. And then now you're back in the action. Like, an AK is legit meant to be easily used, and if something goes wrong, easily like dissected to be able to get back in the fight as quick as possible. Like, there's a reason why the AK is like the free arm of the left world, and the FAL is the free arm of the right world. You got the AK being the left arm of the free world, and they got the FAL being the right arm of the free world. There's a reason why they say that, so. And honestly, an FAL would be a fucking beautiful weapon to have, as well, for myself, too. It's just that caliber would be actually not hard to come by. I'm pretty sure 7.62 by 51, which actually is not hard to come by. And the U.S. military also uses that as well. So, I mean, that wouldn't really be a bad weapon of choice as well. And there are civilian variants of the FAL as well that do exist. So, I mean, I'm just saying, Inky, you ain't wrong. But hey, 9 and 5.56 are probably the easiest to come across. But you got 10 mil, there's 7.62 by 54 or by 51 rims, and then you got 7.62 by 39, which is going to be far less common. But we have like one or two weapons that we have that use that. Then there's what else? I know there's at least one other caliber that's actually fairly common that can be found too. I think it's not 38 auto, definitely not, but it's I think it's 30 or like 30-06 / like 30 cal or variants of 30 caliber or 30-06. I think that's another common caliber that even the military uses sometimes. Or Nuke. Okay, good choice. It is a really good platform. I mean, honestly, even for me now at this point, I pretty much know it in the back of my hand. I have like modded my AK from its original form to the point where like I know it definitely in the back of my hand. I mean, there's taking off dust cover, then you got the spring slash the charging handle that you can take off, and that takes the spring out. Then you can take the barrel out, take the charging handle slash the fire pin. But then you can switch out the fire pin out, so you can take that part out. And then with the upper handle with the foregrip, there's a tool that you would need to like take a piece off, and then you can pop that off for the gas block slash the upper foregrip. And then there's a way to get the bottom foregrip off, but you need a tool to take that off. Like, I mean, I know a fucking AK like the back of my hand. It's honestly, it's just fun to tinker with it. Every so often, I'll just like kind of just tinker around with it, just because it's just enjoyable. It's like playing around with a Lego. I will say, I definitely want to replace the trigger mechanism eventually, including everything with it, because there's a spring in there that I've noticed that got I don't know what happened with it, but I think there might have been a jam once where I know for a fact I had to kind of fuck with it for a minute, where I think I might have kind of slightly bent it a little bit, and it's still fine. I've shot it since, and it's okay. But there's at one point where I was a little like, I'm not shooting this yet until this is solved. Once I did, I did once after that, and it operated just fine. So I'm like, okay, I think we're okay. But that is something to look into and keep an eye out and keep in my mind, because I've already wanted to replace the trigger with an FRT trigger. So when you pull it, it fires more rapidly than just bomb. Because the original trigger I have on it is really stiff, and an FRT trigger is really sensitive. So you can pop, like, you can basically do that, and you're popping every time. Pop, 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 pop. So it's about as fast as you doing this. So get good with the fingering, you know what I mean? Assembling all equipment is always better. And also just more fun, too. And at least for the AK I do have with my current platform, I specifically try to find East German equipment, at least with the furniture specifically, because I have a buttstock that was a surplus AK buttstock that it didn't even have the drills in it, so I could just screw it in already. I had to do that myself. And that was a fun fucking project to like get the braces, get the gun set up, and be like, okay, it's first time doing this shit. This is my baby, and I need to make sure it's done right. So I made sure that fucking handle was set in nice and tight, and then I just gently with the drill, just like just enough to where I'm like, all right, I can just drill in the rest of the way from there. And then I loosened it a little bit, moved it. I'm like, all right, you're in there pretty evenly. Did the same thing, got a regular drill, got screws in, just went and I kind of did a little feel for it, for a sec, and I was like, oh yeah, I was proud of that. I was like, for a little gunsmithing thing, I was pretty proud of that. Even though it was basic shit, I mean, it was fun and it was a good time. It's always fun to do a little gunsmithing, honestly. Like that's a fun little thing that I think I could probably, maybe over time make a trade, make it as a trade at least. But the thing is, there's no like gunsmithing slash like armories around here that do that. I mean, unless I want to go to like Seattle or something, I guess, because I know they have like a military base, and I think there is an arms manufacturer up there. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Make bullets for the military-industrial complex, and sometimes civilians. Totally. What a binary trick for my AR. It's either an FRT or a binary trig. I want to get one or the other. Because a binary trigger, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, you pull the trigger, that fires one round, but then you pull away, that resets it to where you're actually firing another round. So every time you're doing this, you're actually firing two. Bop, 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 you know, kind of thing. So every time you're doing this, you're basically doing automatic fire. It doesn't equal it, you know, necessarily, but it mimics it enough. I like how, like, especially with triggers and shit like that, like the whole bump stock ban that Trump did, by the way, back in his first term. Like, I love how that basically modernized more trigger technology for these firearms. So it's like, here, more bang for your buck. You know what I mean? It's like, you could basically do as quick automatic rapid fire as much as possible, as long as you have a quick trigger finger and are good at fingering. I will say, at least because I have with my AK, with my safety slide, I have one that has like this little extra little notch. Like, you got like one that's in the very front, and then there's like one that's like right here. And I honestly will shoot with my middle finger with my AK, because every so often I'll just like when I'm like bam 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 to a target, I'll flip it up, flip down, bam bam bam, flip down, bam bam bam, up, down, bam bam bam, up, down. I kind of almost do it, like, if anyone knows like the Lee Enfield kind of standard of firing that, you know, some British soldiers and even like, you know, Sikh soldiers will do, they will like fire with their middle finger and then rack the bolt with their index finger instead of index finger and then rack bolt. They use middle finger and rack bolt with their with their index finger and then fire again. I mean, it's like not just a variation of, like you're saying, trigger control, but it's also a way to, especially for bolt action, to rack the bolt quicker. But also, especially if you have like something like an AK where I can just flip up, flip down, you know, when it comes to the safety and being able to fire, I can just flip up, aim down, find my next target, flip down, aim up, fire. I mean, it's a good way to at least especially have better trigger discipline and trigger control and better safety as well. Because, like, let's say you're at a target range and you're trying to like, you know, take targets down, you know, and doing like a time run or something like that, and you got like a friend on the side, and you don't want to intentionally flag them, and let's say you might accidentally potentially do it because maybe they're being dumb and just kind of partly inline fire. You can at least like correct the aim really quick and then stop, then put it down, then fire because they're like too close. And like, you know, and you could say something later, but then you're like, well, fuck it. All right, up, next target, boom, you know, kind of thing. So, because when I first got it, it didn't have that little extra notch on it, so I got another safety for that specifically. And I'm definitely glad that I did, because it really helps with like, you know, kind of, you know, learning how to, you know, do that, but also learning how to at least have better discipline with the trigger finger and using the middle finger to, you know, shoot a little bit more too. So, because I don't know why, but I feel like, you know, my middle finger is a little bit more quicker. I guess it does. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I feel like it's a little bit more like boop, poppy. Man, I wish YouTube wasn't such a fucking stickler when it comes to firearms. Not that I have any over here anyway, but still, it's just like, man, it is a little lame. Anything good happened in bars last night? I mean, yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say it was like the best. I will say there was this weird moment. There's this really cool dude that we know from the Heritage, but he had his cousin, over for a little bit apparently, and he was hanging out with him that night. Dude, that dude, even I don't want to say fuck. I wasn't trying to say his name, but whatever. Like he like was looking at his cousin being like, dude, you're too fucked up, like quit doing this shit. Like, kind of like he was even getting sick of his shit. And me and Logino and then another buddy that he was maybe or maybe not thinking about rooming with was we were all went out there, and I kind of stopped down. I'm like, this dude was really like towards, I'll just say T, even though I almost said his fucking name, but he was saying that, doing that to him, and he was like, would you fucking, like, he looked like it was about to fight him too a little bit, and I was kind of like, look at my buddy, was like, go to the bathroom real quick. And I kind of winked down, and I just got up, walked right by it, and I was walking down the steps, and he was looking at me like, I was like, I just did this, and I just immediately went right to the bar. It's like, this guy in a white tank top, I think trying to fight for some reason. I don't know why he is. He's just being weird. You might want to look at him real quick. And she looked at the cameras with the TV where all of her cameras were set up and stuff. And she saw it too. And I even looked around the corner, and he was still doing it. I'm like, yeah, that guy, yeah, he's being weird. And she didn't even say nothing. She's like, and just immediately walked over. And I kind of waited a little bit. I'm like, all right. And then I saw her go in. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go in a little bit after that. So then I walked out after she did that. And I was over here. It's like, you're on the cameras, right? What are y'all doing? You need to chill, okay? Like, you're on the cameras. I can see you, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to practice and try to play around this and that. Like, he literally was coping so hard. Everyone was laughing, be like, nah, bitch. No, you weren't. You were trying to fight your fucking cousin, dude. It's like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're trying to cope right now and trying to make yourself look like, no, we're just playing. You're like, no, you weren't, bitch. It's like, what the fuck? I didn't say anything, honestly. I just sat back down, and my buddy Logan was like, you should get the bartender over there. I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't want to see no damn fight, like, that's bullshit. Like, and also, it's like, I mean, it's probably best, for him to get the fuck out. Just no offense to, T, but it's like, he needs to go. Because I could tell that there were some other people that I think were not afraid to fight his ass. And it's just, and even later that night, I don't know why, he was back in there again. I think trying to grab his, cousin again, being like, hey, yo, blah, 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 or some shit. And, because he was talking to somebody else before he left. Because he got him in his car, I think, just to be like, stay in here and just chill, I'm assuming. I don't know. But he came back in because we were, me and Logan were playing pool for a bit. And we looked over, we noticed that, and we're like, why you back? You were damn near kicked out, and now you're back in, bro. Like, your cousin helped you get the fuck out, and now you came back in here looking for him when he probably got you to his vehicle to chill the fuck out and just hang out in there and nap it off or something. And evidently not. And he literally was like, no, you get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm doing this for your fucking safety, bro. Like, go, like, kind of thing. He literally was like grabbing him a little bit and just escorting him out while he's like, nah. I don't even know what he was saying, but he was definitely like weird and salty and butthurt. I'm like, jeez, I kind of felt bad for T, honestly, because I'm like, dude, when we first initially got there, he wasn't like that. Like, and he seemed okay. I mean, he actually seemed cool. But then, like, the next time we saw him, that was what was going on. I'm just like, nope. Man, and I honestly feel bad for him. It's like, that's your cuz? Like, Jesus, he's a little bit of a wild card, man. Like, and very aggressive for no fucking reason, too. Like, I didn't have to deal with it directly, but I was like, I ain't trying to have that shit here. It's one of my spaces, I ain't trying to fucking deal with that shit. I mean, I suppose it'd be free entertainment, but you know, the entertainment of having a bartender get involved in shit is also more, just as if not more fun. So I don't know. Hey, Logan, double team any more basketball players? Nah. I actually was being, well, technically, yes. I mean, I was being double teamed at a certain point because the guys that we're playing with were brothers, but one of them kind of wandered off with a girl and then he started gambling and some other shit. Like, it was kind of a, not like a worst vibe in the world, but it wasn't like good necessarily, if you know what I mean. I mean, like, the game itself was fine, and honestly, like, I still lost, but, you know, at least it was still a decent, fun little game, though. I mean, because it started off as a 2v2, but then halfway through, it was a 1v2. And I was like, fuck it. I'll do it. And I got pretty close, but then... What the fuck was that? I'm just gonna double check, make sure nothing broke. What the hell was that? I don't see anything broke or nothing. Like, what's like in one of these? No. Yeah, alright, well, I don't know what the fuck that was about, but alright. Nothing's broke, everything's fine. Some people just switch on you like that, it's wild. I've known plenty of people like that. I mean, like, I've even met, I mean, like, some people are just like that, just kind of be like that because they're just drunk or something. But I've also met people like that because they're legitimately got, like, an illness and stuff, too. I met people who are schizophrenic who literally I would see on a fucking dime suddenly become a different person and just, like, now they're not, like, the same person like they once. It's, I don't know. Like, it does vary and it kind of, you know, depends on the person, but holy shit. There's some motherfuckers out there where I'm like, whoa, you switched up to basically a whole different identity here. Like, whoa. It's like they're still the same person, but now they're like a different shade of what that is. You know, it's weird. I mean, I guess it's, I don't know, it's spectral because sometimes it's not, and it's kind of like, okay, you know, your more darker side of yourself is out. Like, I can kind of, or a more negative element of yourself is out. Like, sometimes you kind of see that in people, right? But then there's a lot of times where it's like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, that was never there before kind of thing. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck? What is this? And I've seen that in people sometimes. And lo and behold, it kind of is because there's legit some other shit that's going on. And it's just, you never realize it. Hence why, like, you know, things like, you know, schizophrenic diagnosis. I've known at least 2 for a fact, you know, people that I've known in my life that were schizophrenic that would legit be just a totally different fucking person when those episodes would hit, whether they were minor episodes or major fucking severe episodes. But at the same time, I met plenty of people, whether, you know, it's maybe a certain substance gets them into a certain way, and they just end up, you know, just showing off a different side of themselves that they never really have, and it's like suppressed, so to speak. But then, you know, that brings it out of them. It's like a little demon that they're trying to suppress, so to speak. Yeah, like possessed by the spirits or something, you know? Something like that. Because I definitely have had that before. Not like in a literal sense of like, oh, a spirit literally possessed me, but, you know, possessed, you know, by like a demon in the sense where it's like I'm just in a low spot and something like, like usually alcohol tends to never be like, when you're in your low point, never helps because it just exacerbates a lot. And there's definitely been times in my past where it has been a straight fucking demon when it came to that shit. Just straight up. But at the same time, it's also been, one of merry and one of great times. And, so it's like, it's, I would say, especially when it comes to at least certain people that have to kind of realize that they got that in them, is to get the balance and realize that, like, hey, you can have a little fun with it and play around with that demon and dance a little bit. So, every so often at the bar, quote unquote, figuratively in your mind kind of thing. But never fucking, let it go drag you back to its place, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, never let it drag it back to your home. Let it, you bring it back to your home kind of thing. Not the other way around. Because, hey, I'm having a beer right now. But that doesn't mean that I let that demon be entertained. It's double entendre because liquor spirits. That's true. And shit, like, I would say, honestly, like, in a weird way, my lowest points were with fucking wine. That's why I never really drink wine anymore. Because, like, I've had good times with wine. I've had my little weird wino phase, once. And I've had good times with that. But also at the same time, it's just like, why did I do that? And it was just bad. Oh, so bad. I would say, like, my lowest point when it comes to any of that would have to be my wino phase, bro. Like, I unironically literally had a phase where I was doing that, like, 2019, 2020, about, oh my god. Even my friends could attest to that. I would, and the thing is, like, I've had different little waves, moments, and, since and before, but I don't know. For me, at least if I had to, like, take any particular, like, alcohol as, like, oh, that was bad phase, it was wine. Now, I'll still have a wine here and there and shit, but oh my god, I am not, like, having a bottle to myself. Like, I remember once back in the Twitch days, honestly, this is actually one of the best moments when I was in the wino phase, where I was like, I was even amping it up for, the whole week, where I'm like, on a day off, I'm going to get a bottle of wine, some 19 Crimes or some shit. I don't even remember what the fuck it was. I think it actually might have been like a honeyberry, like Willamette Valley, like blackberry wine or some shit. I don't even remember. But, I was going to look at the Harlan County, USA documentary from 1979. And that's what we watched. And I was like, we're going to just have a bottle of wine. We're just going to chill. We're going to, like, check this out and shit. And dead ass, like, by the end of that documentary, for all the commentary, for everything, because it was probably, like, 4+ fucking hours. That bottle literally had, like, it was about yay. Maybe the neck was about so. But, it, like, the real, it's about so. So, at the end of it, it's about right here. At the end of it. There's tears, there's different moments, because, dude, that documentary goes fucking hard. Which, by the way, if, I do recommend watching that documentary, especially if you want to see, some of the radical elements and some of the raw core of what the labor movement is about. Especially even back in the 1970s and the I think, documentaries from 1978 or 1977, but it got released in 1979. That documentary, Harlan County, USA, is a documentary that I think any laborer and worker or just any American should fucking watch. It's worth fucking checking out. You know what? Honestly, I'm thinking, maybe one day we'll do something like that again. But instead of having a bottle of wine, for the whole fucking thing, we'll have, you know, maybe like 4 of these or something like that. I don't know. Because I know it's free on YouTube. It's like a colored and a black and white version, you know, so there's different versions, I'm pretty sure, on YouTube. So, I mean, we could definitely easily check it out for sure one of these days. In time, though. I spotted a beam moving around in the background. Oh, yeah, they're over here. Yeah, Vito's just out, just chilling over there. And Jazz is just right by my side. Hey, chunk. Oh, you little stretchy bite. You stretchy bite. Why are you so fucking soft, Jazzy? You're the most softest fucking boom to ever be. Oh my god. Oh, booty stretch. Booty stretch. I'm gonna stretch that booty all the way to my lap. Yeah, what's up, girl? She's like, whoa. She's like, whoa. Ugh. Eh. Eh. You squirmy little thing. Ugh. Vito, what the fuck? You stretchy boy. You got so much chunk of flab. Big ol' boom. You're so cute. Oh, you got such a dry little nose. Ah. Ah. Oh. Go off, chunk. You go off yourself, you little chunk. Big ol' bang. What the fuck are you doing, Vito? Oh my god. What the fuck is this? Oh. What the fuck? You destroyed the fucking equilibrium that was the cushioning of the cooch. What is, bruh? What have you done? You insane bean. Oh, he's just giving me this look of like, what the fuck, Unc? I'm gonna hit you with this. What are you doing? I like how you don't even care. Oh, he just wants his face smushed in. Ah! Smush the face. Being sick, no prisoners. They definitely don't. Especially this bastard. He truly doesn't. He's insane. Why do you love me twitching those cheeks? Are they just that flabby and fluffed up? Ugh.
He's like, whoa. Wow. What are you doing? What the fuck? She's windmilling his tail. Goofy boy. Goofy boy. Oh, slap that ass. Slap that ass. Slap that ass. You're just gonna accept your fate and just be there? Alright. Goofy little Vito. I just plopped. I was in bliss. I like it. I like that arms. Yeah. Take a little pick back real quick. I do got that little tip jar, you know, wants to send new love and all that fun shit. Yeah. And maybe some here. I'll be around, man. None of you moved at all. You were too excited to be there. You big goofy.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy.
All the
But a
soup,
can of soup.
all the soup, Vito. The film soup, all the soup, man, Vito. That's what you get, folks. That's what you get, Vito.
Goofy little boy. Hey, though. Hey, Goofy boy. Fluff, fluff, boo. Fluff, fluff, boo.
That's what you get. Oh, what's up, chunk? Oh, shut little chunk. Like I don't even care.
He's like, well, that was my fate. I just have to accept that now. Goofy little boy. Goofy little doge. Boom.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how my little hombre's date is going for tonight. I know that their little phone call right before I started the stream was going pretty interstonious and was having a little bit of a fun time. I'm like, interesting. I know I have like a 95% chance, guarantee that they're gonna probably come back here, and I'm kind of hoping at the very at the minimum, that Logino was like, hey yo, she come by. Like, at least if I'm still doing this, but who knows? It's a possibility, possibly not, but you never know. But if that's the case, I'm just like, oh shit. Because I don't need her, I think she might know I do them, but I'm just like, you don't need to be around it. You know what I mean? She doesn't need to be in the background when it happens. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that shenanigans. It's possible. Well, I know it is. That's why I'm like, depending on how long they're kicking it, like, that could go one way or the other, you know what I mean? I know they're probably going to be out for a while, so I'm like also thinking, depending on how long I stick around, what should I watch too? Because there's been like either some films or like even some shows. I'm like, kind of want to either get into or get back into or watch because I haven't seen it in a long time, or I haven't seen it before, but I want to. I'm like, You know what's weird? And this is probably so white suburbanite wine mom of me, but I started watching Lost. I started watching that. It's probably very white wine mom suburbanite of me, but fuck it. I've seen it off and on growing up as a kid. I'm like, you know what? I gotta at least see what it actually really is all about. And you know what? If it's like too ass, then I'm gonna be like, nah. But because I'll say this much. I grew up watching it like kind of early/mid-season with my mom. But the last time I was in Texas, I was watching it with my aunt when she was on like the last season. So I was just, no pun intended, lost watching the show. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? So obviously it has like, a peak of some shit that happens, you know what I mean? But I'm like, so far it's a slow build where it's just like, it's just people surviving a plane crash right now, you know what I mean? So with a little superstitious shit happening here and there, but that's basically what it is right now. And I'm like on the 5th episode. I'm just like, I mean, it's not bad right now, but something better fucking happen, for me to be interested for the second season. Because if it really is just a slow builder in that first season, I don't know, dude. I don't think I'm gonna keep going with it. I'll see though. Oh yeah, I've seen all of Andor, dude. I fucking love Andor. Andor's awesome. Honestly, I'm kind of half tempted to rewatch it just because, like, I know there is definitely some stuff I've missed from my initial watch of the show, but I definitely want to at least, watch it again so maybe I can pick up on some of those things. Maybe I'll find something that I missed, the last time I saw it, you know what I mean? So, and also, I want to get into The Sopranos. That's actually a show I've been having on my list for a while that I have yet to see. I mean, I've seen enough of The Sopranos where I know I'm going to love the fuck out of it. There's also just memes, like how much more than Paulie could take, It's like how much more betrayal can Paulie take? I'm going to get a slice of gabagool, slice thin. Oh, it's like, I mean, I know the memes, but it's like, I actually want to watch the fucking show. It's the best series. I don't know, man. Have you seen the Maul Shadow Lord? Have you seen the first 2 episodes of that? Because, bro, that might be a runner-up, my guy. I saw the first 2 episodes the other night, and holy fuck. That is, dude, that show is actually fucking awesome so far. I think it's the first Star Wars property to literally get a flawless 100 so far in Rotten Tomatoes. Like, not even the original trilogy or anything else. Like, not even Andor got 100% flawless. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, it's definitely merited for it, dude. I was enthralled the whole fucking way, and I'm honestly wanting more. And it left you off on a cliffhanger. The cliffhanger for episode 2 is fucking insane, dude. I'm like, motherfucker. This is why, honestly, I hate, like, when they do shit like that. It's like, oh, we'll pop, like, a few episodes. Or, like, a episode. No. Do the whole fucking show. Like how Cane Hill did it, when they released their new season, where it's just all there for you to watch on your own accord. Yeah, maybe if you want, you can watch it one at a time, or maybe a couple at a time. But, no. That was bunk. I wanted to keep going, and I couldn't. I have to wait till next Monday, damn it. But it's 2 new episodes every time, so I'm okay with that. Basically an hour each, for that. So that's okay. That's okay. I see what you're doing, but I'm like, left me on this fucking cliffhanger, you bastards. Bitches. This is actually, unironically, I'm not going to lie, with Maul. Like, it is actually some peak Star Wars shit. Because it's gritty. It's like looking at the crime syndicate shit. It's like, it's delving into all sorts of stuff, man. Like, where I'm like, man, dude, Star Wars is kind of dark and gritty as fuck if you really think about it. It's always been like that. Even in the fucking original trilogy and when the lore was built up since then, you know what I mean? Like, it's always had this dark underbelly, And it's like, why not embrace it? I think now Disney's starting to realize that a little bit. Hence Andor, they teased it with it a little bit with that, where it's not like this dark underbelly, but a little bit of a grittiness, you know what I mean? And then now you got Darth Maul and shit with fucking the Shadow Lord and stuff of that show. And, the Bad Batch too. Like, they're showing some more gritty shit. Where I'm like, this is kind of making up for the sloggy bullshit that they fucking flung at us all these years, including in between some of this shit too. That doesn't excuse all of it, by the way, but or it doesn't even get close to necessarily excusing it, but you're on the right track. Keep doing shit like this, because I might eventually excuse it if you keep doing properties like, Maul Shadow Lord or Bad Batch and other shit like that, like, if you keep stuff like that up, I don't know. I might actually, start warming up again. You still got that flaw. You got your dark past, and we're never going to forget. Forgive, but never forget. You know? But maybe I can't forgive. Just keep it up. Or else. Because I'm definitely not forgetting. Reminds me back in the day of Dragon Ball Z where Blue Balls was so bad at the end of every episode and you had to wait for a whole fucking week. Oh my god, dude, for real. Dude, that was the case for so many shows, man. Dude, like, especially when it came to anime, like, one of my favorite animes I liked to watch growing up, which is very obscure that I don't think many people know about, and I'll actually legit give you some fucking points if you know this. Code Lyoko. Do you know that one? Because, dude, waiting every fucking week to watch that show was mind-numbing. Because I love the fuck out of that show, dude. But, and also before NNA ended, like, that one, Courage Cowardly Dog, dude, trying to catch up with, like, with every fucking show that, you know, I was, like, invested. Like, it was so fucking hard. And I know for a fact that I definitely missed a bunch, you know, when it came to all that, but at least there was the reruns once it was all said and done. So I know eventually I did absorb it, but I was like, whoa. Dude, we just, the late 90s, early 2000s, / mid 2000s, peak cartoons. The mid 90s to the mid 2000s were unironically peak fucking cartoons, bro. I will not fucking hear it. I understand that the 80s and shit had their time in the sun. No disrespect, no hate, none of that. But bro, I mean, it was just I would say it's a more mature. Fuck, hiccups are hitting me right now. It's like a more mature chapter of what was in the 80s. You know what I mean? Because they had their place, and it was excellent. It was amazing. The cartoons of that time were awesome. I've seen a lot of them. But, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just on the virtue of nostalgia, but, like, growing up with those type of cartoons were certainly, to me, like a different impact. Maybe it's just on that virtue. But, I don't know. These hiccups are driving me the fuck nuts. It's making it hard for me to concentrate. You know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't care if we hit our goal or not. $3 a shot of pop. I'm gonna do one. And in virtue that it makes this motherfucker go away, I just gotta try to do some other tactics first. Oh, God. Of course, as soon as I do that, I hiccup. Still hiccup, baby. God fucking damn it. Hiccups go away, fuck you. And of course, they're still here. Whatever, I'm just gonna have to fight for it then. I literally have to fight for this, what the fuck? Are they getting worse? No, I was literally about to be like, no, they're gone, but then they came back. No. This is fucked. I know, now it's like, dude, it's worse. Ah! What do I do to get rid of these? I know there are fucking tactics here. I know a few of them. on, this might be working. Okay, hold on. That might have fucking worked. I just did an old school, like, trumpet with instrument breathing technique. It did that. This might have fucking worked. Oh my god, it worked! Woo! Oh, thank Ave Maria, it did. Yes! Holy shit, that was driving me the fuck nuts. I literally couldn't concentrate. I was trying to talk, but it was not working. Though now I could tell my heart like readjusted its beat or something because it feels weird there, but hey, we're good. I felt it too. I was like, it adjusted itself because I know hiccups, at least in one way we know how they are a thing, is because of a weird like off like beat that our heart does, and it causes our like body to try to subconsciously like kind of force it to like reset itself. I know at least in one way that is at least a idea about how hiccups are, but we don't really know why they are really truly a thing. We just know how we can address them in certain ways. I know that much, and sometimes you just gotta like fucking like really focus on that bitch. Yeah, I got regular and the alcoholic hiccups. Yeah, like the hit. Yeah, there was a little bit of that little but you know, with the alcohol, yeah. I figured, you know, maybe the shoot would help, which it literally didn't at all. Well, actually, you know what? No, fuck you. You know what did? Because you know what? I don't got them anymore. Yeah, it took me a few extra little attempts, but they went away quicker than they did initially. There is that. Thought there's this theory that one of them was trans. Wait, who? What? The theory is that they were all dead kids in purgatory from varying time periods. Wait, whoa. I never heard of that theory before. If Ed and Eddie. I never heard of that before. Though, honestly, you know what? I do generally kind of weirdly believe the theory that one of them is. And you know what? It's Double D. I guarantee you it's because of Double D. You know what? I'm not even joking. Like, for the longest time, watching that show, I thought Double D was a girl. I'm not kidding. Like, I don't know why, but for the longest time, I legit thought that Double D was a girl. You know, but obviously he wasn't. But I just, for whatever reason, all that fucking time, I thought, you know, he was. So, I mean, in a weird way, if there is a theory that one of them is trans, I would say it's probably Double D. Maybe they are technically biologically born as a woman, but they identify as a boy. And they've always been like that, but they're just like a nerdy, you know, hyper OCD, you know, trans boy. You know what I mean? You know, like, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, so, in my mind, at least out of all three of them, out of all the Ed boys, Double D would be the most likely to be a trans man. Or trans boy in this case. You know, so, at least in my opinion, I could see it. Because I literally thought that Double D was a girl for, like, the longest time. Up until, at least, like, I don't know, I was, like, 7 or 8, like, well after, like, you know, the show's been around and shit. It was, like, a long time until I realized, like, oh, Double D is a boy. And also think about, I don't even really remember why I thought that. I think it was just because of the voice. And I guess just because they were a lot more, I don't know. You know what? I really actually kind of want to think about this. Because, like, I think I can probably pin it down. You know, thinking about the character. Because out of all three of the Ed boys, they weren't the biggest like alpha hustler scammer guy, you know, like trying to, you know, they wanted the jawbreakers and shit for a quarter, you know, and they were trying to, you know, they wanted that hustle, you know, they were doing that for sure, they were a part of it, but nowhere near to the same degree. And if anything, they were trying to find like a way to make it a little bit more intriguing in the sense that it actually makes more sense where it's not inherently like a total fucking scam. Where they actually have smarts where it's actually I can help you with. I mean, I even remember the one episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy where Double D was so fucking tired where people were coming up to him for advice, but he was so fucking tired from like an all-nighter or whatever the fuck where he just could not, give any proper advice, and everyone got mad at him because of it, because like, what the fuck? Like even Kevin, like what was it, like toothpaste, or something to help, with the rusty chain that he had, and it literally made it worse. You know what I mean? It's like little random little things like that throughout the episode. You chomp, get up here. But it's like, I mean, obviously there is actually like a weird like kind of value that people recognize with Double D. I've even noticed, throughout the show. I think it's just because the affiliation with the other Ed boys, of Ed and Eddie, that kind of just lumps them in the sense of, oh, they're just a hustling scam fuck, but in reality, they're actually kind of a useful, genuine, like, valuable person, like, because even, like, fucking, Ralph, like, even he, despite being a weird, quirky immigrant, strange person, overall, that's kind of an enigma, quite literally without even being one, but like kind of a gypsy type, kind of. It's like a Romani type. Like, no one knows where the fuck they came from kind of person. Like, even then, like, he's accepted within the broader, like, cul-de-sac, but yet Double D ain't because he's affiliated with the other two Ed boys, like, but imagine if he was, like, affiliated with Rolf or from anyone else, right? Like, they probably would still be accepted, albeit probably still made fun of here and there or this and that or whatever the fuck, but yet, would still be a part of like that crew, or part of that community. It's kind of an interesting thing to think about, like when it comes to a Double D. They are kind of in a weird way an outlier, when it comes to like the three Ed boys. Rolf is from the 1800s. Might as well be. I mean, I even looked it up about like, is there a theory about like true origins of who or where he came from? The closest theory is that he's from like the broader like Mediterranean / like Turkic region. Like he might be Turkish, Armenian, maybe Greek. Like, he might be something like that, or maybe even Eastern European, like Polish or East German or something, or like East Germanic, like there's two theories about where he may or may not be, but I think the enigma of who he is, despite that, I think is kind of the point, which I kind of love, because he's kind of the stand-in for like your traditional immigrant that, might be in your family or in your community or, shit like that. Like he's somebody that, maybe, yeah, he might be like Eastern European, he might be a little Turkic, he might be, or maybe even Yugoslavian, or / like Baltic, kind of, or Balkan, like, regardless of, despite the enigma of who he is, the point being is that, like, he could literally be an Hispanic person, an Ethiopian, a Serbian, whoever the fuck, but the point is that he's a migrant of, a mysterious background that is a part of that community in that neighborhood that the people accept and is a part of that, regardless of his quirks. And he's a major part of the plot and like, and who, he is, especially in the cul-de-sac and in, the Ed boys, perspective, because he's like a major side character in a lot of different episodes. So, I mean, he plays a major role about, like, I think in a lot of commentary growing up, especially for someone like me, when it comes to, like, that little quirky immigrant that, yeah, maybe there's some interesting, weird, quirky culture about, where they came from. So what? They're still kind of cool, like, and they're still, really awesome person, and this and that and all that other shit. You know what? Maybe like they still kind of have like a weird little thing, against me or some shit like that because of like the hustle stuff, with Ed and Eddie, right? And all this other shit. But like, there's still like a community and there's still like something there. And even Rolf will overlook a lot of that shit. He'd be like, "All right, the boys, you tried, but I give you benefit of doubt. But you know what? I challenge you. What's my fish? Whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, he don't give a fuck. Like, Ralph actually, is like one of the few that, can overlook like that shit, regardless of how many times it happens. And if anything, kind of challenge him back a little bit, So that's what I kind of love about him, too. He's a fun little quirky character in that way. I know. Dude, if Ed and Eddie was still a thing, you'd know that ICE would literally try to fucking deport Roth, bro. And you know what? I'd be there with my whistle and be there like Alex Preddy or some shit, be like, oh, hell no. You know what I mean? I'll be out there to be like, no, fuck you. Roth is my man. He's been my boy since the beginning. Fuck you. I do that now. Like, I mean, I've never seen, like, ICE, like, out and about, outside of one time, but we happened to be, driving, and they happened to, like, be driving by us. And the only reason why we noticed is literally just because, our, old buddy, Brian pointed it out. He was like, yo, that was fucking ICE. I looked over and I happened to look just enough where the last car was turning, and it did say, ICE, or I think it said DHS or something. I was like, oh, yep, that was it. There was like 3 of them. There was 3 cars or 3 SUVs that were driving by. And the last one was definitely at least a DHS one, which that means it definitely was ICE because DHS usually is in tandem with them a lot of times. So I was like, oh, like they're definitely around sometimes, but that was a while ago. That had been at least like less than a year ago, maybe like 8-9 months ago, maybe even a year ago or longer. I mean, it was definitely more at the peak of their actions and shit, but I haven't really seen them since or at all. But even if I did, I'd stick around to even stream it, be like emergency ICE, spotting stream or something. I would even do that. Just on the virtue of just at least to document it. Ralph is illegal in stolen land. Well, aren't we all at that point? Unless you're a Native American, I mean, aren't we all? We can still at least treat it right, though. At the end of the day, we're all in the same goddamn ball of rocks, so we should try to treat it, as such. You know what I mean? In the indigenous Americans had it right. I mean, I know for a fact that, like, a lot of different, cultural beliefs, various different tribes, of indigenous Americans had was, like, looking towards, the next 7 generations of the ecology and the environment around you and your place in it on top of, your next of kin. Like, not just that, but, like, the 7 next generations. Like, in this preservation of the environment and the ecology around you and your place within it. Like, they took, there's a lot of massive, like, consideration of looking at the land around us, when it came to shit like that. They had the right idea when it came to things like this. And it's like, but yet, hey, shocker, and a lot of, industrialists and capitalists especially, do not hold that same idea. Shocker. I'm not saying we have to go fucking rewild in status, but man, we can adopt and adapt a lot of those fucking philosophies and principles within our fucking, current global, expansion, not just on this planet, but even to the cosmos too. They didn't try to deport some natives anyways. Yeah, they tried. I think there's even been like 1 or 2 that have. And I know probably even been killed too. There's even like a Ukrainian fucking immigrant that was killed that I forgot the name of, but I remember seeing the flyer out in the ICE protest one of the few times I was out there not that long ago. I'm pretty sure it's on one of the streams too, actually, now that I think about it. I need to make sure that those streams are public. So, you know, I can maybe make sure I can maybe make a YouTube short out of it or something. I need to double check and look. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that's been going on too as well. It's just, it's fucking just ridiculous. It's like half our government is trying to establish a white, ethno-Christo-fascist supremacist state, and the other half of it wants to, you know, be a part of the Jewish Israeli supremacist fucking state of, you know, the Levant and Israel and shit is what it's like, dude. Oh my god, it's just fucking ridiculous, dude. Between like outright fucking Nazis and then these fucking hardcore, insane, deaf cultist Zionists, and even those are the blend of the two because there's plenty of them and a lot of them overlap anyway. It's like fucking hell, dude. Ugh. Something's gotta fucking give, and I know this fucking much. I ain't giving. And a lot of the principles and a lot of the ideas that I advocate for, that even fucking liberals do too, and at a point where they're sick of this shit or advocate for it too. So it's like, I don't know. I think, you know, there's a quantity versus a quality / even an equal of quantity and quality that are going on here that I think are, you know, a majority in comparison to the fucking bullshit that is running things right now. But maybe I'm a little too helpful. Who knows? Guess we'll see in the future, right? Did you see that Hexef threatened the Pope? Well, you also see that a lot of his the military officials and generals and officers are also kind of doing a quiet rebellion against Hexef as well. I mean, there's been a few of them that have been forcibly retired or quit and shit like that have been, you know, very fundamentally against, you know, a lot of the things and actions and a lot of the orders that Hexef has been doing. But a lot of them are still sticking around, but have been doing kind of quiet rebellions where they're either purposely, you know, like falsifying a lot of different information or purposely, you know, or, you know, and going against certain orders and shit like that. Like, there's a lot of things where the current, you know, military is even saying like the current administration is going too far, and we're not doing this. So I mean, even like the military as it stands right now is starting to, you know, like be against, you know, Keg's breath and the fucking administration. I mean, I like the only reason why I think it isn't as bad as it is, you know, now when it comes to like Iran and a lot of these fucking strikes that we've been doing is because of the quote benefit of the doubt, you know, so to speak, when it comes to like, you know, certain targets and shit. And whoop, I guess we missed, wink, you know, because Hexef overrides, you know, certain things when it comes to acceptable and, you know, coordinated attacks. But I'm starting to think that it could have been way fucking worse when it came to a lot of this shit, because a lot of these attacks, you know, have been prevented because there's been this kind of little bit of a quiet rebellion where, you know, there are different officers and generals and colonels and etc. that are saying, hey, no, I'm not, you know, executing these orders. Like, these are legit, just straight fucking war crimes. I'm not doing that. I'm not putting my fucking name on it, at least. And I'll say, maybe it's a matter of time until these, you know, type of people are fired and, you know, taken out as well for fucking loyalist dogs. But I mean, as it stands now, like, I mean, even for those that are a lot more in favor of what's going on, or even starting to be pretty much, you know, against this and start to rebel a little bit. So, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, for one, keep doing it. And for two, I think it really shows in, you know, is damning evidence that, you know, says that, like, yeah, our administration just doesn't give a fuck when it comes to international law, human rights law, fucking war crime stuff. I mean, at least other administrations had like some veneer of trying to pretend to care about that shit. Not so much anymore, though. Because we might as well just be, the assistant that's helping harvest the fucking meat, from the psychopathic butcher that is Israel, when it comes to these fucking wars, that we're committing. Because that's, what is going on right now at this point. Arguably, it's been like that for a long time. But, I mean, it's more blatant than ever. Listen to Bam Bridson. I have. I don't know if you've been around before, but I know me some Bridson. Not a fan of Varg, though, but I like his old school shit when it comes to Bridson. Oh my god, Jazzy, you got so much white tuft. I did not realize how much white tuftness you got going on in your foot. Oh, we gotta see this. This is insane. Look at all this white tuft. Oh my goodness, she has so much. All up in that bean. Aww. Is that your hurt foot too? Because you still got an injury. Oh, you poor bean. Oh, oh, oh my god. This stretch bean. You beautiful, sweet little gorgeous girl. You chunk chunk. I'm just kind of squishing her belly. Oh, she's just in bliss. Oh my goodness. She's looking at me like, yo. Oh my lord. You little chunk. Sweet chunk bean. Oh my goodness, this little sweet chunk. Oh, hi, Vito. What's up, buddy? Vito. Vito. Come here, boy. Vito. Ah! Oh, shit.
You are not supposed to be here.
What do you mean I'm not supposed to?
Down.
What?
Down. Down. Go. Go. I thought you were going to be at your house. All right, whatever.
No,
that
what?
works.
What?
It's
No.
fine. It's okay. It's okay. We love you.